Just a moment.
She's agitated, judging from the way she keeps pulling at the frayed edge of her blanket.
And there's no public phones nearby?
The closest phone booth is down the coast. Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am.
The cafeteria manager appears genuinely apologetic.
It's fine, I understand. Thank you anyway. I'm glad to see you again, dear.
Good day, ma'am. Everything all right? Sorry, ma'am, I didn't mean to eavesdrop on your conversation. Tell me how I might make it up to you. Let's just...
Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie. I was just hoping to make a call, but the Whirling's phone line isn't working. The union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there. Or to the phone booth down the coast. And Gary's phone is dead too.
Wait, what's wrong with the phone?
The manager was vague about it.
Why would he be vague about phone problems? This is something to look into later. Ask God, maybe.
Why did you need to use the phone anyways?
To let the young woman who's house-sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, and our friend Gary were supposed to get back by Monday night, but they're still missing, and I haven't heard from them. I was also hoping she'd heard from Morel.
She looks down.
A little missing persons puzzle might just be the thing to take your mind off the hangover.
Okay, I'll bite. Has your husband gone missing before?
That's just it. This isn't like him at all. He always plans his expeditions so carefully.
A cold breeze hisses through dense thickets of reeds. Something sweet in it, somnolent. A damp chill goes down your spine. When you look around, you're still in the whirling in rags.
But you have more important things to worry about.
What is this expedition your husband was on?
Just some field work, sweetie. Morel is a highly trained scientist. He and his assistant Gary are studying an extremely rare species of insect. But they should have returned by now. They were just going down the coast across the waterlock to set a few traps. He said they'd be back on Monday. What could be keeping them?
Oh, the drawbridge, probably.
The waterlock. That was broken. Could this be it?
Wait, who is this Gary person? Do you trust him?
Oh, sweetie, it's nothing like that. Gary's as loyal as they come. I trust him with my husband's life any day.
The waterlock on the other side of the coast is broken. They're probably just stuck over there.
Oh my. What happened to the waterlock?
You may not believe it, but it looks like some maniac crashed his motor carriage into it. You wouldn't know it's blocked by a big butter billboard. It fell right into the water. Yeah, let's just say
sweetie,
that.
if it weren't for you, I'd be looking forward to another sleepless night. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you both.
No problem.
You're welcome, ma'am.
I hate to ask, but if your investigation takes you to the other side of the coast, please do keep an eye out for my husband.
Will do.
Some left-field scientific research is exactly what you need right now. Funk up that vanilla murder investigation.
And if you see him, let him know Lena is waiting for him here at the Whirling. He gets so tangled up in his work that he may not know the waterlock's been repaired. And it's cold out there.
If I see him, I'll let him know you're here. When or if I get there, I've really spent too much time on this side case as it is. Now let's just accept it.
Oh, you're such a dear. Thank you, sweetie.
So your husband is some kind of scientist?
Oh, yes. A zoologist. A cryptozoologist, to be more precise.
What is cryptozoology?
It's a pseudoscience that attempts to legitimize research into mythological beasts and urban legends.
The lieutenant sounds unimpressed.
That's one opinion, yes. And people are entitled to their opinions.
She's used to playing off such insults casually, but they still affect her.
My apologies, ma'am. I did not mean to undermine your hobby.
It's not a hobby, dear. It's a subfield of zoology, one specializing in animal species that are so exceedingly rare that many assume them to be extinct or even fictitious. Searching for such species called cryptids is difficult and often thankless, and frankly, many scientists are too lazy to do it. Universities these days are rarely interested in supporting real research.
Okay.
The quality of research at Revacholian universities has been on the decline, but you doubt there was ever a time when cryptozoology was embraced by the academic elite.
Okay, so what has been affected? Little worried, less worried about her husband. Okay, let's go through the dialogue tree and then attempt that. Maybe we can get it above 50% somehow. It's a suggestion one. Okay, let's see. Tell me more about moral, looks, character, your
Oh
relationship.
dear, I'm not sure where to begin.
What does your husband look like?
Well, his expression is slightly grumpy, but his eyes are always bright and curious, like a small boy's. And his palms are quite coarse from all the field work, but he's quite gentle.
That said basically nothing about what he looks like.
You can't go around Revachol feeling grown men's hands. If you want to find her husband, you'll need more concrete information.
Let's try again. Why don't you try describing him as you would one of your cryptids?
Oh, well, he's a bit shorter than you, but with a larger frame, and he has longish white hair, usually a bit uncombed. You might say wild, even.
The lieutenant pulls out his notebook and begins jotting down the woman's description.
One other thing, he'll likely have all kinds of field gear on him, even if he's not out in the reeds, just in case.
How long have you been married?
We'll be celebrating our 16th anniversary this autumn. Not the most numerically satisfying anniversary, but I like the less obvious milestones even more somehow.
How did you two meet?
By a dating agency, I'm ashamed to say. I was looking to get back into the scene after recovering from my accident, and he'd just divorced. We hit it off, and, well, here we are.
She smiles
She's
wistfully.
skipping over some important parts. Perhaps you'll find out more later.
I think that's all the information I need. Let's move
I
on.
hope I've been useful.
Still 42. Tell me more about this rare insect your husband is looking for.
Oh, sweetie, it's fascinating. But I shouldn't bore you with entomological minutiae.
The lieutenant gives you a sideways glance.
No, I want to hear about the insect.
Well, it's a phasmid, technically, but
Phasmids, that's grasshoppers, right? Or is it stick insects? I think stick insects. Not sure.
Ah yes, Phasmatodia, a diverse group of insects whose bodies resemble twigs.
There we go.
leaves, that sort of thing. Ghost insects, colloquially.
where other phasmids imitate sticks or leaves, this one's a living reed. It disguises itself among the reeds here on the Insulindian coast. Hence its name, the Insulindian phasmid. Perhaps you'll end up co-discovering the phasmid with us, officers.
She looks you in the eyes and nods thoughtfully.
I knew it. We're gonna be chasing made-up insects with cryptozoologists.
Oh, don't be rude, Kim. Sounds
It's not
fun.
made up, officer. I can assure you. It's simply elusive, so much so that most establishment zoologists doubt it exists at all.
What makes you think the phasmid is around here?
Well, some teenagers making out in the reeds saw one. They didn't know what it was, of course, but there was a brief article in a local newspaper about their encounter with a ghost insect that looks like the reeds. Gary sent us the clipping.
So, a newspaper clipping is all the evidence you have?
Of course, most phasmid sightings turn out to be false alarms, but their description matched the Insulindian phasmid perfectly, And they didn't even know what they were looking at.
Enthusiasm has wiped the worry from her face. Her eyes sparkle behind her glasses.
You seem really excited about this
I
cryptid.
suppose I have something of a personal connection to the Insulindian phasmid. All scientists have their little hobby horses.
So, is it dangerous?
Not at all. Why else would it hide itself so carefully?
Is it valuable?
Oh, I doubt it. No one gets into cryptozoology for the money, sweetie.
Does it have cool powers? Does it have any
Yes,
of that?
It can blend in almost perfectly among the reeds. It's how it stayed hidden all these years, centuries even.
Okay, what's so special about the stick bug then?
Oh dear. I'm afraid I'm not explaining this very well. It is very special.
The woman's face flushes with embarrassment.
Morel can explain it all much better. I wish you could hear him describe it. Then you'd understand, I'm sure.
You don't notice this about me, but actually I have lost all memory of the world and myself, and I have no idea what I'm doing. Let's, why not?
Surely things can't be that bad.
Things aren't bad, they're catastrophic. I hope you're right. I hope it's not too bad. Yeah, I'm blowing this whole thing out of proportion. Let's be optimistic.
You know where we are, right?
We're in the Whirling in Rags cafeteria.
That's right. And where is the whirling itself located?
In Revachol?
Yes, indeed. We are in the fine city of Revachol.
Okay, Revachol is the disgraced capital of the world, something like that. Honestly, I don't really know anything about Revachol. Let's say disgraced capital.
Yes. Great, see? We're getting somewhere. What else do you know about our city of splendor, tattered as she may be?
Honestly, I don't really know anything about Revachol.
Oh my, how would I even begin to tell you? Revachol is the most beautiful city in the world. We're fortunate to be here, you and I. I haven't seen very many other cities personally. Everyone says so. Revachol is a rare jewel. This city used to rule the world, though it has seen better days.
There's a pause as she studies your expression. You must look quite lost. Man, the song in the background, this one is so good. That's such a good song.
Speaking of history, you know what year it is, yes?
What was it, the spring of 51? We're approaching the end times. It's a bad year. In my late 40s or 50s. I don't even know how old I am. Spring of 51.
That's right, dear. How splendid. Here, take this pen. Knowledge should always be rewarded.
Her relief
Sure.
is palpable. She was getting pretty worried about you there, but now she relaxes her shoulders. Outside, spring rain seeps into the cracks in the walls and the cobblestone streets, and into grated storm drains, all the way down into the sewers. Above ground, the first maybells blossom.
I can tell that this is taxing for you, so I'll just ask one more question. What regime are we living under? What mode of government?
Some kind of democracy, maybe? I'd like to think it's the dictatorship of the proletariat, but something tells me it's not. Our leaders are fierce warriors who traverse the plains on steeds. We are governed by intelligent machines that perform calculations to determine the freest market. Everyone hustles and grinds like a badass visionary. Radios are being used to control people's minds and distort our perception of reality, concealing our true masters, foreigners and women. We are living under COP regime. I'd like to think in the dictatorship of the proletariat, but something tells me it's not.
Oh, sweetie. It's really not. There used to be people who thought that way. Other people who wanted those things, but they all went extinct. Revachol is a zone of control led by an alliance of foreign powers called the Coalition. We have almost no government of our own, and certainly no dictatorship of the proletariat.
but they still have cops.
If there's no government, how come there are cops? I don't even know what to say. I'm so disappointed. How are there still cops?
Oh, dear. And you were doing so well. There aren't really any cops in Revachol, not in the traditional sense. The status of law enforcement has been a complicated matter since the revolution. But we should stop for today, sweetie. You look like you need a break. Besides, I'm not the best person to explain the big things to anyone.
She's scared now. She's realized you really are brain damaged.
Who could tell me more?
Someone more educated in sweeping matters. Maybe you should ask.
She turns to the lieutenant.
No, I'm not an encyclopedia. I won't be a guide either. I'm a police officer.
Of course. Then, I don't know, someone rich maybe. Wealthy people are educated, though I don't know where you would find a wealthy person in Martinez. But thank you, sweetie. You did make me forget about my worries for a while.
We are over 50 now. She smiles up at you, but concern is creeping back into her expression. Let's give it a shot.
You're an enthusiastic idiot, but you're still an idiot.
I want to know everything about cryptids, living cryptids, extinct cryptids, marine cryptids, land cryptids. Bring it on.
We don't have time for Cryptozoology 101. Let's get back to work, shall we?
That's all for now, man. Shame. As a kid, I loved cryptids and stuff like that. Ah. Wonderful.
For the rest of the world, the Aces Low is just some cool Revachol thing, politically neutral. In Revachol, it still holds revolutionary connotations. Also, have you looked at Lieutenant Kitsuragi's clothes? He wears a bomber jacket, just like the ones worn by aerostatic brigades. And those cargo pants look like they could fit tools for hot fixing your burning aerostatic. You should ask him about this.
Okay. Bonuses. +2 empathy towards Kim Kitsuragi. +1 esprit de corps. Okay. Seems good. Okay, rigorous self-critique is still gonna take a while until we have that complete. Items, what do we have here? A pen. Kind green ape pen. That's nice. That's nice. Ah, right. They're separated into different things. Some stuff done. Okay. Still a while to go with that one. Let's talk to Kim
Yes.
then. I want to talk about
What
you.
about me?
Kim, you're wearing a Revolutionary Air Brigade jacket, aren't you?
What? This? It's just seasonal clothing.
And those look like airman pants, good for storing tools in.
Where is this going?
You see, Kim, I have this place in my head where I develop new ideas and connections. Nowhere, let's change the subject, but still keep it on you. Okay.
Interesting. I think it's called the brain.
It's no mere brain.
Yes, a brain. No, it's more than that. Anyway, no, normal people don't have this. It's like a mind laboratory, a spiritual R&D division. No, a palette. No, better yet, a painter's atelier of concepts. Let's not overwhelm me with like that dialogue option. Let's say it's more than that. Anyways. In this special place, I've come to suspect that you have some kind of thing with the Revolutionary Air Brigades.
I do not have a thing with Revolutionary Air Brigades in particular.
Just air brigades then?
Okay, I wanted to become an aerostatic pilot. Then I turned 10 and realized we no longer have an air force.
Are you sure the Revolutionary has got nothing to do with it?
Absolutely nothing.
Okay, thank you. My mind is satisfied.
Good,
I'm not gonna say that. That seems rude.
good. Let's change the subject.
Alright, we could ask him about...
Can
what
I
was it
help
again? I saw another thing.
Great. I love those.
So the phone line is dead?
Yes, and the phone company is taking its sweet time sending someone to fix it. Losers.
Is it true that there was foul play?
Who told you that?
Lena, I would never disclose my sources. That would be dishonorable. It doesn't matter. I just want to know who you suspect.
Fine, yeah. It looked like someone had messed with the wiring. It was shortly after the hanging, but I don't know if it's at all related. Plenty of arseholes around here who aren't murderers. If you do find out who cut the line, though, let me know so I can forward them the repair bill.
God, I saw a sign that said I couldn't go into the kitchen. Why can't I go into the kitchen?
What are you, a cook now? That's none of your business.
Maybe I am a cook. I have a search warrant, but there may be something pertinent to the investigation in the kitchen.
He wasn't pan-fried, he was lynched. What could the kitchen possibly have to do with...
He changes his mind.
Fine, okay. The kitchen is closed until 1 p.m. because the cook is working. You can snoop around after that, if you must.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. Goodbye. Goodbye, God. Thank you for being always so enthusiastic about our conversations. Alright, that door is closed. I forgot. Can we talk to you now properly?
That sugary black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching how syrupy and sticky it is. How long have you been up already?
2 hours?
An hour would have been bad. 2 hours is mystical. You have truly wiped out all trace of yourself if you haven't thought about rum and lemonade yet.
I've been secretly thinking about it all this time. Actually, should I be thinking about this? Looks like drinking hasn't turned out too well for me. Now that you mention it, I do need a rum and lemonade. I'd love for God to serve me up a beverage. Maybe later. Actually, should I be thinking about this? I'll go with that one.
Maybe you haven't turned out well for your drinking. Have you thought about that? Get a goddamn rum and lemonade to yourself, boy. Or better yet, lick that stain off the counter.
Let's not do that.
What happened, man? You used to be cool. Go get your boring normal person drink then. Get your drink on and your act together.
Okay, so... okay, we should take the edge off. Do we have anything drinkable in here? Doesn't seem like it. Yeah, no. If we come across something drinkable, we might have a little sip or something, but I don't think it's a pressing issue right now. Do we know what weekday it is? Or anything like that? What day is today? Oh right, it's Tuesday, of course. Yeah. Maybe save that for weekends. It's probably smarter anyways. You again, I don't like you. Do you have anything else to say though?
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
You're a lorryman, right? What's your stance on drugs?
Drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let anything pollute my body.
He takes a long drag on his cigarette. Why not? You smell like booze and cigarettes. What's different about narcotics?
You know where that shit comes from? Sarah Miriza, Safre, Ilmara. They take the money from our local junkies here and then use it to outcompete us in the manufacturing sector. They know they can't beat us in a fair fight, so they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage, racial economic sabotage.
Hold on, but they make alcohol in Ilmara too, so I was told they do. So I take you're not smuggling drugs out of Martinez. Listen, I agree it's our responsibility to keep this poison off the streets of Revachol, right? And that's all I needed to know. They make alcohol there as well.
I don't go for that foreign piss. Proper booze is made in Mundi. Or sometimes I like a dram of that Yugo-Grad vodka. Koikos and worse much, but they do no booze.
So I take it you're not smuggling it out of Martinez?
Not in, not out. I'll never betray the purity of my tribe.
So you're telling us that you don't know anything about drug smuggling through Terminal B?
I don't know shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
He puffs on his cigarette. Then what are you still hanging around here for? Most of the communers have left.
What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately. It's those little kips sneaking around at night. If they touch my stuff, the bosses will be on my ass like ass cancer.
There was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
Did you see? I did see one lorry which with the trailer doors open on my way here. Do you know what happens? What happened? Let's ask.
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved this country. We were having a good debate about genetics at the Wheeling in Rags when some kip boys smashed his lock and took damn near everything. Lost his fucking job over it. Since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk to.
I wonder why.
If they were getting drunk inside the whirling in rags, how could they know who broke into the lorry?
If you were all at the whirling, how do you know it was kips who broke into the lorry?
What? Aren't we allowed to say that it's the kips who do all the stealing around here? That's not rotor science, man.
If it's not you, then who's running drugs through Terminal B?
Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang, that beady-eyed South Samaran. His little side business is a scam. I wouldn't be surprised if he was peddling drugs as well.
Who's that?
He's a Samaran guy who likes to pretend he's some kind of businessman. Really, he's just selling his employer stuff. Stuff he stole after he broke the seals on his Humanox lorry.
Where do I find him?
Just follow the smell. It smells like apricot and oil when you're nearby.
The lorryman lets out a raspy croak at his own sense of humor.
Yes, yes. Where is he?
Looks like I offended your partner there. Too bad. Sealang's usually a little bit south of here, near the canal. You can't miss him. Just watch yourselves. His tribe are natural liars. It's in their blood. He's your man, all right? 100%.
I wouldn't be so sure about it. Not until we've heard what Sealang himself has to say.
I guess we need to pay Sealang a visit then.
Guess so.
He grins to himself. Yeah, we're done now. Man, this guy sucks. Let's just quickly, as we're passing through, just let that.
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says 1 bottle equals 10 cents.
Exactly. Let's let that clank
Your
inside.
bottles clunk into the machine,
Or
and
clunk.
the money appears with a satisfying jingle. You're a richer man now.
Magnificent. Let's head outside. So, how do we get to the other side where we can enter the building with the smoker on the roof? That is what I need to figure out. What's going on here? Let's talk to you for a second. See if you have anything to say to us.
Hola, wandering man. How can I help you?
That weasel I visited. Turns out he has one hell of a colonial mug collection. Actually, do you know anything about the Hardy Boys? Why are you striking? Kuno told me you were supposed to know about the armor. Let's start with the first one.
Yeah, the janitor who gave me the key to his apartment said the guy's a bit of an asshole.
Yes, his mug collection certainly represented antiquated social values. See how we're all busy concentrating on the racist mugs? That's what the ruling class wants. A man with such a funny mug collection can't be that bad. All I'm saying is he had lots of mugs. Yes.
Like I said before,
Yeah.
I don't know much about this weasel, but the bossman said he's a real piece of work. Thanks for helping out, friend.
Actually, do you know anything about the Hardy Boys?
Los Ardis? They're an independent militant group. A bit too high-strung, but it comes with the responsibility. They're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and all that. Except it's Everard's law. But really, they're just like you.
Kuno told me you were supposed to know about the armor.
The little boy had the good on his promise.
His promise?
To get me into trouble. To sick the pigs on me. Pardon the choice of words. Not mine.
What happened?
I was asked to look into that armor situation. Official Union probe, you know. Track it down, see who took it.
Did you?
At first I thought, why not? Maybe the pieces can feed the strike. Buy us a few more days under the sun, you know? So I went to this boy. He said he'll make me his prison bitch. He's got eyes everywhere, and the cop's in his pocket, and he's the king of Jamrock. Serves me right for doing menial footwork. I dropped that probe right then and there, and it still got me into trouble. One bad move is all it takes.
So Kuno used us to what, scare you?
It's a minor nuisance. It's all good.
He contemplates taking a swig from his flask. The probe into the armor, what did you learn?
I learned that people don't want to talk to a drunk Union man about some armor.
What else?
Not much. Technical stuff mostly. That was the interesting part.
What sort of technical
I
stuff?
did some research into this armadura. Let's say I have friends at the library. I didn't get into the material science, just how it comes off.
How does it come off?
In parts. 4 in total. The helmet was the first to go. The kid says he tore it off and kicked it into the sea. I believe him. The boots were still on the guy last I saw. Too hard to remove. So, as I count, there are 2 parts missing. The gauntlets and the cuirass. This is where I left off. Too much hassle. More like a job for some militia.
4 pieces of armor up for grabs, then, but I already sent the boots away.
I guess you won't be collecting them all then. That's less work for you at least.
Hold up, 4 pieces. Helmet, cuirass, gauntlets, boots. What about the leggings?
Oh, they're just gone. They don't exist anymore, if they ever did at all. Forget about them. I did.
I'm going to find 1 piece of it. 1 is enough.
Nice and balanced. Some junior officers can take care of the rest.
Smart choice. It's only that one spot you need armored too. The one the bullet hits.
That is
Good
true.
luck if you go for those boots though. You'd have an easier time wresting the spurs off a boyadero than getting them off him.
Thank you for your for the cooperation,
No
sir.
problem. If you see that kid, thank him from Call Me Mañana. Thank him for showing me the way.
Okay, I will.